Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing an Assassin's Creed Odyssey overview on the photo mode. A few people have asked me to do this, so I thought I would get it done eventually. It was only about 6 months ago I said I would do it. So today I'm just going to run through quickly all of the features of the photo mode and how I use it again. The last time it wasn't so comprehensive, so hopefully this time I'll cover some more hints and tricks. The first thing is to get into the photo mode, and Icarus is here, so we're going to set up a nice picture here. So what we'll do is we'll click in the two analog sticks, or R3 and L3. As you can tell, I haven't written a script for this, so we're just making it up as we go along. So the first thing you can do is find your perfect composition, and you've got the analog sticks and you can move around. You can also go up and down by pressing the directions. And up. There we go. I think that's a bit far. You can press zoom, and that's L2 and R2. So we're going to press R2 and zoom right in, I think. And I think we'll get just a quick portrait to just demonstrate. And there we go. And if we want, we can tilt it by pressing L1 or R1 if you want to go the other way around. And these are great, and you get some great verticals. Yeah, so there we go, and we'll just press X to take the picture when you're happy with it. More especially with landscapes, you have a grid on Assassin's Creed. I'll just turn this the other way around. And you can use this grid to help you with your landscapes and your compositions. And there's loads of tutorial videos online and things you could have a look on about creating depth and interest in your landscapes. But something like that, and you just press X when you're happy with the picture. As I've just done that, I've just realised there's a boat in the background that I've just cut off, and it's sort of making it look sloppy. So always just go back and have a look, and there's no harm taking an extra picture, or if you made an extra 10, and then just deleting them at the end. So once you're happy, there you go. And we'll just go back to Cassandra because I just want to cover some more things. Oh, I just took a picture of nothing. There she is. So once you've gotten your picture and your composition and you're happy, so say we'll do that there, and you're happy with your composition, the next thing you can do is you can enter the editing section. So what you want to do is you want to click in your, I think is it L3, yeah. And mine's a bit funny, so it takes a while. And the first thing that you'll notice is it's changed the depth of field immediately. You can use your cursor to decide what you want the focus on the picture on. Obviously, some games this will be called your aperture. It's basically replicating what you've got on the camera. That you could change your depth of field. With a landscape, you're going to want probably a big depth of field so you can see things in the thing. But when you're doing a portrait, if you want something to stand out, it'd be a really good idea. I'll go back into that menu. It's a bit sticky for some reason. It'd be a really good idea to make a really shallow depth of field. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? And we'll move the cursor there. I'm not going to go so shallow because Cassandra wasn't in focus there. And again, then play around with your thing until you've found something you're happy with, and then we'll press X to take the picture. There we go. So the next thing I wanted to cover is that you can take a picture of whatever's on the screen and Cassandra just standing there, but you can also take an action shot, and the way to do that is either to get in a fight and quickly take an action shot, but you can take a standing action shot, so you're not restricted to anything that the game can do. You can take a shot doing. So we'll press X here and we'll get it to perform something, and we'll take a picture. There we go. And this takes a bit of patience and a bit of practice, and it's not really a great picture because she's sort of hanging off the side here, and we don't want it up the skirt. Look, but something like that. And again, we can go in and we can change the depth of field to make her stand out a little bit more. and we can press X to take a picture, and there you go. Just remember, you're not restricted. You can play around, you can fight. There we go, and we can take all sorts of shots. And just play around and practice and find something that you want to take a picture of. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and take one of my portraits. This is what I'm asked about most, and I'm going to look for a bit of light. And this game is fantastic for these kind of portraits I'm going to show you now. Other games you have to find a particular spot, but in Assassin's Creed Odyssey you will find pretty much in any doorway where there's light coming through, or a cave entrance, you will find some good light. So there we go, we found a nice little spot here. I'm going to position Cassandra in the light, and I'm going to enter the photo mode, find a sort of rough composition. Oh my goodness, I'm stuck right there. Right, 2 seconds, I'm just going to exit that and then press it again. Right. And as you can see, as I've zoomed in there, it's corrected the colour as well. But what I can do is we're going to click in here, we'll leave depth of field, and we'll go down to exposure. And this is the biggest, I suppose, trick that I use. Not really a trick, you can do this in real life in photography, is to take down that exposure. Now the light there wasn't that great, but if you find a really great piece of light, I don't know why I'm saying piece of light again, but if you find a really good light spot, you can take that exposure right down and get yourself a really high contrast portrait. So once you're happy with that, again, you can take a picture. And we'll move down to the other thing. So if you really wanted to play around and amp up the contrast, you could do this. Which is put your contrast level right up to the top, and then we can take the exposure down again. And I'm going to move in a tiny bit. Oh my goodness. There we go. And you see I've got the depth of field still in the relatively high, so I'm going to move it down a tiny bit. But we'll take that picture there. And because we've got a contrast quite high up, what else we can do is we can take down the saturation. Now, we'll go down to saturation and we can make it a really high contrast black and white image. And these look great, usually. And once you're happy with your colour and your light and everything, again, play around with that composition. Don't be restricted. And take as many as you want. I find with our weapons I like to get them in. And just move that there so it's on it. Perfect, there we go. And you see I've left a bit of space at the top there, so that's not ideal. And I don't really like cropping after the fact. You can do. So what I'll do is I'll take another picture and get what I wanted in the first place. So we'll come out again and then we'll go back in, and that just resets everything. You can press in and hold your R3 button to reset while you're in the photo mode if you want to put all the settings back to normal. I just wanted to quickly show that we have some preset filters on here as well. You can use these pressing L1 and L2 while you're in the editing menu. So we'll go through. And if you wanted to, you can use these, and these are a really quick shortcut. I tend not to use them just because I like playing around myself, but these are like the filters you have on your camera or your Instagram, and they're just a really quick shortcut to getting something interesting. We'll go back to normal. The next thing I wanted to show is the rest of these things. So we've covered depth of field and exposure. Obviously, not just with low exposure, we can overexpose an image and you can get different results. This is not the right place to do that, but you can get some interesting pictures in different areas. And I might up the contrast again as well. You have temperature, so we're going to go down to cool and up to warm. Tend to stick relatively in the middle with the temperature. You have a tint here, so you can go to your purple tones and then to more to your greens. Again, I tend not to touch tint particularly a lot. Your saturation we sort of covered. There's more colour, less colour. Leave that somewhere in the middle. Next one is noise. This is like film grain, and you can get a really filmic quality. See, I can't talk anymore. With this one, that's really great on landscapes. If you're doing some landscapes, I like to do there, especially in Egypt, for some reason. I think I'm shooting Lawrence of Arabia or something. The next one down, you can do vignette, and that is just to you darken the edges basically. And again, that can be quite interesting when you're doing a portrait. That's not really in focus, but okay. The bloom in the fog I'm going to show you outside, so let's run outside and we'll do this. So let's see if we can do something interesting. Take a picture, right, there we go. I just don't like doing the, like, just walking, standing, although now we have a knickers out shot here, which is not ideal. But, sorry Cassandra. If we go back into that menu, and we'll just leave that there. We'll leave everything where it is. And at the bottom you can have fog, and that basically just creates a fog, but it's really cool if you want your subject to stand out. Especially in a black and white shot, you can get a really cool effect with it. And the bloom is to just, it'll light everything, so it's the sun basically. Oh my goodness, what have I done? And there we go. And you can get quite a cool effect for that. Let's jump off here and do. Oh, what am I doing? Jump! Woman! Let's go down onto this beach and see what we can get. Or maybe in these trees. So we'll do the same thing again. I want the sun on Cassandra's face. If we have the sun behind, we can do a nice silhouette, but at the minute I want to do sun on Cassandra's face. We're going to go into the settings, zoom right in, like that. We'll leave the depth of field there. I'm going to turn the light right up like that, and we're going to turn the fog up. And then I'm going to take the saturation down as well. And I'm going to go back and play with the composition a little bit. And you'll see, if you could play around with this, you can get some really cool shots, some really atmospheric shots. Can't talk today. If anyone's made it this far in the video, well done. And I think this is probably about it. Oh, how do you get the... I forgot how to get the, what do you call it? You can get, oh, I've forgotten what I was going to say. Anyway, you can get... you can change the grids. I was going to say, to change the... to put borders on it, but I can't remember how to do it. And also, I'll never do that, so... Let's get one more picture. There we go. Still got some purple in the background there. And just play around and have fun. That's the most important thing to do. I think I'm going to go off and run and kill some people while I've got some time. But thank you for listening. Anybody who's bothered to get through it. And do tell me if you need any more tips and advice. It's just easier to record a video than try and explain it. And hopefully I'll see you all another day when I've got some more time and I can go through properly. And maybe do a one for Horizon or God of War. And show my sort of tricks for those. Thank you. Bye everyone.